Welcome to the Daily Recap for July 13th, 2026, your neutral, source-backed snapshot of the world today. In the next few minutes, a high-stakes standoff over the Strait of Hormuz, fresh elections called in Israel, Ukraine keeps hitting Russian oil facilities, a Wimbledon champion defends his crown, and a devastating fire in Bangkok. Let's get straight to the news.
Starting with world politics. The United States and Iran exchanged heavy missile and drone strikes over the weekend, each giving conflicting accounts of whether the Strait of Hormuz remains open. Tehran declared the waterway closed after striking a commercial container ship, while U.S. Central Command insisted traffic was still flowing and launched additional strikes to protect shipping lanes. Oil prices surged more than 4% on the news. Meanwhile, Israel's parliament has confirmed national elections for October 27th, the latest date allowed by law, in what's widely seen as a referendum on Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's leadership since the Gaza war began. And in the South China Sea, the U.S., the U.K., the EU, and 14 nations reaffirmed the 2016 arbitration ruling rejecting China's expansive maritime claims, calling them without legal basis. China rejected the statement.
Now, war and conflict. The U.S.-Iran confrontation intensified as fresh attacks struck both Iran and Kuwait. Iran's Revolutionary Guards targeted American facilities across the Gulf, including sites in Jordan, Kuwait, Oman, and Qatar, with Kuwait reporting damage to border posts and an offshore oil platform. The U.S. responded with a fourth round of strikes in a single week. In Ukraine, Kyiv's forces continued targeting Russian oil facilities. A Ukrainian strike in southwest Russia killed one person and wounded three others, as Kyiv kept up its campaign against Russian oil tankers and refineries. Meanwhile, the United Nations warned that drone attacks are deepening the humanitarian crisis in Sudan's Kordofan region, with strikes causing civilian casualties and disrupting water supplies as cholera spreads among the population.
Now for some good news. On the tennis court, world number one Jannik Sinner defended his Wimbledon title, beating Alexander Zverev in 4 sets to claim his second consecutive championship and 5th Grand Slam. Sinner recovered from losing the opening set to win in a grueling 3 hours and 46 minutes on center court. In space, China achieved a milestone, successfully recapturing the first stage of a Long March 10B rocket after an orbital launch, using an innovative sea-based net capture system. It's the first time China recovered a rocket booster, making it the second nation to achieve orbital-class booster recovery. And Japan also advanced in the reusable rocket race, successfully completing a vertical launch and landing of a test rocket, intensifying global competition and reusable space technology.
Now the bad news. A devastating fire at a pub in Bangkok, Thailand, killed at least 27 people and injured dozens more. Thailand's prime minister visited the scene, where officials said emergency exits were obstructed, trapping patrons as smoke rapidly filled the venue. In Chile, a driver plowed into a crowd at a street festival in Viña del Mar, killing at least 6 people and injuring 7 others. Authorities said the driver was an off-duty naval petty officer who likely lost control on a rain-slicked road. And in southern Spain, wildfires claimed their 13th victim as a 93-year-old British woman died of her injuries. Forensic services reported 10 more people still missing, though the fire was said to be contained.
That's your daily recap for July 13th, 2026. Today we covered the escalating U.S.-Iran standoff over the Strait of Hormuz, October elections in Israel, the South China Sea ruling, Ukraine's continued strikes on Russian oil facilities, Sudan's deepening crisis, Sinner's Wimbledon repeat, China's reusable rocket breakthrough, and tragic events in Bangkok, Chile, and Spain. All sources are linked in the description below. For more daily world news, subscribe and hit the bell. Stay informed, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow.